Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we're gonna be comparing Kage from Street Fighter 5 to Evil Ryu from Street Fighter 4. So let's get started. So let's start first with Evil Ryu, since he is the character from the older game, and I suspect that maybe some of our viewers may not be very familiar with him. Evil Ryu was pretty much a real mix of Ryu and Akuma. He had all of the Shoto tools that you would expect, and they behaved the way you would expect. So he had a traditional Shoto fireball, he had a Tatsumaki. His Tatsumaki was kinda like Akuma, where if you did the light Tatsu, they are close to you, so then you can juggle an uppercut. And one of the cool things about it is, like I said, it behaves the way you would expect out of Shoto. So if your opponent is doing a fireball, it would go through it, so that was pretty nice. Now, some of the Akuma influence come from the special moves. He obviously had the red fireball, obviously the light is gonna be 1 hit, medium is gonna be 2 hits, and heavy is gonna be 3 hits. This is very similar to Akuma. He also had the teleports, so that was pretty nice. And he had the dive kick from the forward jump. He didn't have any sort of demon flip, but he had the storms. And the storms are pretty much now the special moves that you would associate with Evil Ryu. Now, the very cool things about the storms is that the medium kick storm, this left Ryu at a +4 advantage, so he could combo an uppercut after it. You could combo a crouching light punch or a crouching medium punch, so you could do a lot of things like medium kick storm into jab into uppercut. Like, you would get some extended combos like that, so that was pretty nice. Overall, his combo potential was really high thanks to the storm, and even from the light kick storm, even though you couldn't really combo behind it or combo after it, it comboed from his crouching medium kick. This was a 2-hit, and in Ultra Street Fighter 4 they added the red focus, so like this was now possible, which means that his combo potential was through the roof. Now, before I get into the rest of his gameplay, I first want to highlight his super. He had a Raging Demon, and the only way to combo into the Raging Demon in Street Fighter 4 was obviously out of a crumble state. So you would have to crumble them either with a level 3 focus, or a level 2 focus, or a counter hit level 1 to get the crumble state and get the super. He had a Mesto Hadouken for Ultra 1. This was pretty much a traditional Ryu style fireball. If you held it, it actually transitioned into an animation, so that was pretty interesting. And obviously he had the Ultra 2, the Misatsu Go Shoryu, and this is one epic Shoryuken style Ultra, right? Now, one of the final and really cool tools that he had was this hop kick, right? He had this hop kick. This is pretty much kind of similar to a Guile Sobat, but it was special cancelable into the Tatsus. So he could cancel it into the light kick or the medium kick or the heavy kick Tatsu, and this was called a knockdown. You could even combo it into the EX, and in the corner this was a pretty sick combo. The forward medium kick was very good in Street Fighter 4 because of crouch taking. If you're not familiar with what is crouch taking, maybe we will do a video on that later, but know that it was actually really good. Now, generally when you ask around, you will find that most of the player base enjoy Evil Ryu a lot more than Kage, and there is a very big reason for that. Obviously, you know, in comparison or in relation to their games, Evil Ryu was much more powerful than Kage is, right? Evil Ryu pretty much, like I said, had all of the traditional Shoto tools and then some, while Kage is missing a couple of tools. Now, the reason that Evil Ryu was so good and so much fun is that Evil Ryu had a very solid neutral, right? You could play the traditional zoning fireball and uppercut game. You could play the crouching medium kick into fireball game. As a matter of fact, his crouching medium kick into fireball was the best, right? The crouching medium kick had insane range, like you can see. It comboed into fireball from whatever range you want. You could obviously FADC, and this would allow you to get combos. All of the fancy Ever Ryu combos that you just seen, or that most of the Ever Ryu players love, the enabler to all of that, in all honesty, was crouching medium kick fireball. Right? This is what allowed most of that magic to happen. Right? This is pretty much what got us to that point. And certainly you could do some fancy things with it. Obviously my execution with it is kinda trash at the moment due to the lack of practice, but pretty much you get the idea, right? This is what made him so much fun. Obviously he could do the forward medium kick as well and Kara that into Raging Demon, although I'm not even gonna try it at this point. What I'm trying to say is that Ever Ryu was really fun, right? And even without the crouching medium kick into fireball, he had the ability to do crouching medium kick into, right? So even if you didn't want to do the fancy combo, you could still do this one, which was a lot easier, and you still landed a ton of damage. Ever Ryu had the firepower, he had the fancy combo, he had the high execution, he had the setups, but he also had all of the basic Shoto tools that didn't make you feel handicapped in the neutral.
Oh, and he gets him again. He's got a real hard read on that now.
Oh, Daigo Umeharaka! Umeharaka!
Oh!
Joy, you can. What are you saying?
Oh!
At the start of Season 4 of Street Fighter V, we got Kage. And Kage, while technically isn't Ever Ryu, he's pretty much there gameplay wise to fulfill the Ever Ryu spot. And before we start judging Kage, I feel like there are two things that we have to keep in mind. The first one is the fact that Capcom wanted to avoid clone characters. Remember earlier when I said that Ever Ryu was a traditional Shoto with all of the added benefits? This meant that in actuality, Ever Ryu replaced Ryu. There was very little reason to actually pick up and play Ryu in Street Fighter 4 once Ever Ryu became around. Yes, there was still some differences that was kinda edging out to Ryu, but generally speaking, for the most part, Ever Ryu did everything that Ryu did, but better. The fact that he had a better crouching medium kick into fireball, could convert into more damage, had better walk speed, it was a true block string, etc, etc, etc. Kage was, or Ever Ryu was pretty much a better Ryu. Now in Street Fighter V, Capcom wanted to avoid this, so they pretty much made Kage a completely different character and a really non-traditional Shoto. They took away his full screen Hadouken and gave him this kinda short burst instead. This is kinda more akin to what Dan have, maybe even not that to be honest. He still had obviously the crouching medium kick fireball game, and certainly you can still like combo it and confirm it into super and all of that, but obviously the zoning aspect was a lot weaker. He have a red fireball still, and this still acts the same way you would expect, but it is still not a good replacement, at least not good enough to the traditional Shoto fireball. He still have his axe kick and he still has the uppercut. The second point that I wanted to mention is the fact that this game does not have a focus attack dash cancel mechanic. In Street Fighter 4, Ever Ryu already had a very good toolkit for combos, but the focus system is what made his combo game over the top. Now Capcom knew that the players would want a combo machine with Kage. They wanted to retain the combo heavy element that Ever Ryu had. So for that reason, many of his attacks were actually purposed to be combo fillers. For example, the Tatsu, right? We previously said in Street Fighter 4 he could do light kick Tatsu to uppercut. Here this works even with the medium, with the heavy, and with the EX, right? All three of them are pretty much combo attacks exclusively now. They don't go through fireballs like the traditional Shoto Tatsu do. Pretty much these are not like traditional Tatsus anymore. They're pretty much just combo fillers. Now another thing that you can see this is the teleport, right? In Street Fighter 4 there wasn't much to do with the teleport, But in 5 they made them combo tools as well, right? Because like you could uppercut, right? And this acted as sort of like an FADC, and certainly you can do stuff like the EX Fireball, switch sides with them and keep up the combos. So his teleport, his tatsus and many other tools were pretty much repurposed to be combo attacks, right? And one of the cool things about Kage in Street Fighter V is the fact that his burst damage and his combo potential is actually really high, especially with V-Trigger 1 obviously. You could do big combos like this and they would lead to a ton of damage. Another situation where you could see the influence and the direction toward more combos is what they did with giving him the ability to actually combo into Raging Demon, right? Which wasn't possible before. So that was actually pretty cool. Now, in conclusion, who is better, either Ryu or Kage? Now, I think given the fact that either Ryu had a complete toolkit, like he was a character who always had really good neutral presence and had the burst damage, you will see that most of the player base will prefer either Ryu over Kage, right? Kage is still very explosive, don't get me wrong. He is still one of the most fun characters to actually play in the game, but his neutral is actually extremely weak. It is what is holding him back. He is fun once you get to the combos and once you get to the pressure, but obviously having good neutral plus that makes the character a lot of fun. That's why most people find either Ryu more fun. Now, one thing that we have to consider is that it is kind of a balancing act as well, right? Because like I said previously, either Ryu made it very difficult to pick up Ryu, while with Kage, I will say that Ryu and Kage are completely different characters with two completely different playstyles, so it is much more of a choice. Kage or either Ryu is not anymore the Ryu with added bonus that he was. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. Let me know which one of these two do you actually prefer. If you played both of them, which one do you like better? If you like this video and you want to see more analysis on like similar characters, maybe compare Cody of Street Fighter 4 to Cody of Street Fighter 5 and all of that, let me know. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon page and the Discord server page in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.
That low short, the range of a
Oh, the dive kick and the combo. Look at how much damage he gets off.
Bust out. I feel it. He don't want to be here. With a stagger. He can actually crouch a fist at him.
Oh, the activate. Big damage. No, goes for the reset. There's a backdoor from Sako. He might have made a mistake.
That was godlike.
Air EX Fireball combo with the EXDP.
Oh, no!
Let me get some meter on top of it, and that's going to be the match.